Hello everyone, my name is 9einser and this is Minecraft Bingo. This video is going to be about the current state of Minecraft Bingo, and I have some really good news, but there are also some bad news hidden in that. But first of all, let me introduce to you what Minecraft Bingo actually is. So, Minecraft Bingo was originally developed by Dr. Prine Lorgon 111, or simply Prine, and I'm developing a new version of it, because it is currently still in Minecraft version 1.11. When playing Minecraft Bingo, you are presented with a card, such as this one. So as you can see, there's a 5x5 grid of Minecraft items. There are a bunch of goals you can go for. The most obvious one is a bingo. In a bingo, you go for all of the 5 items in any of the rows, columns or diagonals. Blackout is a goal where you go for all 25 items. There are also time challenges where you try to get as many items as possible in a given amount of time. Typically that's 25 minutes. I will also be adding some new goals in this version, but I won't go over those in detail now. When playing Minecraft Bingo, you play in a normal survival world, but there's custom terrain. The terrain settings in particular are tiny biomes for easier exploration, an increased dungeon count, there are also no mineshafts. That was just a change Prine did for balancing because they turned out to be quite overpowered. And finally, no ites generate. That just means that there are no andesite, no granite and no diorite pockets. Prine, the original creator, actually started work on a 1.13 version for Minecraft Bingo. However, during the development of version 1.13, Mojang removed customized worlds completely, so the before mentioned changes to vanilla generation became completely impossible. Because of this, Prine decided back then that he could not make a version for the final 1.13 release, and thus completely scrapped that version. Because of this, Bingo is now stuck in Minecraft version 1.11. However, back in Minecraft version 1.13, when customized biomes were removed, Mojang did promise to bring them back in a more powerful form. And as you might know, 1.16 pretty much fulfills that promise. In 1.16 we got custom worlds back, although they are still in an experimental state. As I record this, Minecraft version 1.16.2 has just been released. Okay, and now that actually brings me to the good news I mentioned at the start of this video. In version 1.16.2, actually all the features of custom terrain that were previously used in Minecraft Bingo are back. So we got feature configurations. That means that we can again generate dungeons as frequently as we would like. Mineshafts can be disabled simply by removing their entry in the dimension settings. Ite features can be removed by overwriting them and replacing them with no-op, or you could also overwrite all vanilla biomes and simply remove the feature from the list there. As you might have noticed, I did not mention tiny biomes yet, and that brings me to the bad news that are within those good news. So I did not lie to you before, all features are back, but there's a catch when it comes to tiny biomes. To explain that, let me briefly go over what biome sources are. Biome source is a term that is used in world generation, and it is how Minecraft picks which biome to generate where. There are different types of biome sources. One of them is multi-noise. Multi-noise is the biome source that vanilla uses for the nether. In 1.16.2, changes were made, and you can actually make tiny biomes using this biome source. Additionally, you can also define which biomes this biome source generates. For the biome distribution, you need to define climate parameters for each biome. And basically, Minecraft generates a noise layer for all of these parameters, and the biome with the climate parameters that match a given location best is chosen for that location. And there's another biome source that's relevant for the sake of Bingo. That biome source is called Vanilla Layered. Vanilla Layered is used for the overworld. It has mostly no customization at all. There is a boolean setting which is called large biomes, but that's about it. Internally, the large biome boolean is actually converted to an integer, and that integer has the value 4 for normal biomes, and I believe it was 6 for large biomes. You could actually set it to 1 for tiny biomes, but that integer is not exposed, and that has a reason. The reason is that this is pretty much deprecated. The only reason that it is still there is that in the world creation screen there is a world type that's called large biomes. And that world type was there forever, and Mojang did not want to top support for it, so they allowed for the large biome preset to be still accessible this way. So let me briefly explain to you how Vanilla Layered works internally. Vanilla Layered is based on a layer model. The first thing that happens is that only ocean is generated for every single spot in the world. And that is just the normal shallow ocean or warm ocean, nothing, just shallow ocean everywhere. Then layers get added on top of that. The most frequently used layer here is a so-called island layer. That island layer generates little spots of plains in that giant ocean. There are also zoom layers. Zoom layers zoom into the biome generation, so they can be used to enlarge those islands that were generated before. After a while, basic biomes get added, and further down, more advanced biomes get added, and rare biomes get added. At some point, edge biomes get added. Edge biomes are biomes that generate in between biomes. That's, for example, beach biomes that generate between normal biomes and ocean biomes. There's a jungle edge biome, and the river biome is actually also technically an edge biome. In between all of those steps, zoom layers get added again, just to make the biomes bigger as you go. And at the very end, a final bunch of zoom layers get added. And the amount of zoom layers that get added here depend on the aforementioned integer biome size setting. It has become pretty apparent that Mojang wants to give control to everything there is in world generation. That, of course, includes Vanilla Layered. This means down the line we will get support for manipulating which layers generate and how those layers generate. And if that gets added, we can of course accomplish tiny biomes again by simply defining less zoom layers at the end. And we might also want to make other tweaks to Vanilla Layered when it comes to that. But that's the reason why we don't have a biome size integer setting yet. Mojang actually does not want to support that integer setting at all. They want to support that you can change layers completely. So now let me talk about the state of development. One of the very first things I did was implementing card generation and card display. I also recently started work on the lobby. The essential stuff is basically done. This includes, again, card generation from the lobby, so there are signs that you can click to generate either a random card or a card using a fixed seed. This also includes configurations. What I mean by that is in Minecraft Bingo, the default configuration is that you have night vision applied, and there are also other configurations that are regularly used. Additionally, you can also make your own custom configuration. So what is left to do is some balancing related changes. However, depending on how the world generation turns out, I might want to assign different difficulty values for items, and I want to hold off on that for now. I also didn't implement any way of joining teams yet, but that's pretty simple to do as I already implemented teams itself. There's just no way to join a team from the lobby yet. The game start is also missing, which maybe is also kind of essential, but yeah, it's also not really a lot to do. I already prepared stuff for that. Of course, world generation is also still missing. So let me come to what I plan for world generation. So multi-noise means a bunch of work, because overworld biomes obviously don't have those climate parameters that are needed for multi-noise. Coming up with good climate parameters that generate a good overworld means a whole bunch of work, and I definitely want a visualizer for that lets me see how the biomes would be laid out in real time. I don't want to rely on having to rejoin a Minecraft world every time I change something tiny. However, it still might make sense to wait for another 1.16 minor release. However, by now I don't expect to see a 1.16.3 anymore. The reason for that is simply that 1.16.2 seemed to be a polishing version for the 1.16 branch, and I don't really see Mojang releasing another version for 1.16. I still might want to give it some more time and see if there will be another minor release for 1.16, and maybe we will get vanilla layout configuration for that, but by now I expect that to come in 1.17. So that's everything I wanted to say in this video. I will post more news in the future on this channel or on Twitter, so make sure to also follow me on Twitter. And thanks for watching this first little video of mine, and bye for now.